You love California? Everybody's good looking out there, it's the law. But with plastic surgery nowadays, you can't tell who's ugly or not. You have to look at their kids. I don't know about you, but I go to Walmart to feel thin and smart. Think about that. I don't care what you look like. You can go to Walmart, it doesn't take long before you're going, I'm glad I don't look like that over there. You either drink or you don't drink in the Midwest, especially in Indiana, which makes choosing your religion a lot easier, because if you drink, you're Catholic. You don't drink, you're Presbyterian. Drink if you don't tell anybody, might be Baptist. Might be. But I was pretty naive when I was a kid, and those were the only 3 churches that were in our little community of Putnam County, Indiana. So I brought this pretty girl home from dinner one night from Indianapolis, the big city, and she was really pretty, and we sat down, and Mom whispered, and she goes, is she Catholic? I said, I don't know, Mom. She said, what's the pretty gold star hanging around her neck? I said, I think she's a sheriff. It's so lonesome in the saddle since my horse died. My wife just left me for my best friend, and gosh, I miss him so. Your dog, when you scratch him on his back leg starts doing that Elvis thing. Does your dog do that? If you scratch him in the right place, his lip will get going. Elvis lives in your dog. Don't you wish Elvis was alive and all the impersonators were dead? My favorite drummer was a guy by the name of Gene Krupa. Who could forget Buddy Rich? Oh, yeah! But Ringo Starr came along, and he made more money than any drummer that ever lived playing this. It ain't fair! I get paid for this.
I got that nationwide plan that works anywhere in the nation except where I'm standing. What happens between here and here? Like, aha, psych. You ever try and trick it? Oh. My wife gets upset. She's like, can't you call me from your car? I cannot call you from my car. I cannot call you from afar. I cannot call you from a tree. I cannot call you after 3. It's like I'm talking in a can. I need a better calling plan. But just got the high-speed internet at home, DSL, because I want to freeze my screen faster. I got tired of waiting 2 minutes. I want to be frustrated now, man. Our car seat was a tire. Spare tire in the back. We were lucky to have it, too. We know, because they told us you're lucky to have it. Yes, thank you. And we believed them. You know, there's kids in China who don't have a tire. Okay. Never knew what that meant. My whole life, they compared me to the kids in China. What did their parents say to them? You're not very lucky. Even if we had a tire, there's no pickup. I guess I shouldn't complain. I get pretty good allowance. You too? I thought I was the only one. I was married for about 5 years before I realized that I wasn't the only one. I was at a party with my friend, and he says he gets like $60 a week allowance, and the single guy with us was appalled. He was like, you get an allowance? And I was like, you get $60? He's saying things. Are you saving up for his college yet? I haven't even paid for my college, man. One deal at a time here. I know I'm gonna have to walk him up through the financial aid line of the people I still know. I got a tab going, right? Yeah, no, turns out I am alive. Yeah.
I don't get jogging. People that do it must love it. You gotta love it. I mean, I've tried it, wasn't very good. I'd run a mile, I'd buy half a dozen donuts, and then walk home. I ran every day for 8 months and gained 31 pounds. That jogging will pack on the flab, trust me. So a friend of mine who's one of these avid runners says to your problem is you don't have enough information. If you understood more about it, you would enjoy it more. Bought me a book on jogging. They write books on how to jog. How intellectually deprived do you have to be to not be able to figure out how to jog? Where do you run into problems while you're learning? Oh, gee, I'm skipping again. Boy, honey, there's a lot more to this jogging than meets the eye. Are there people in America so dense they see runners on the horizon? How do they do that? There's got to be a book. The book is that thick, which means they fill it with information you'll never use just to make a book. They had one chapter devoted to how to train for a marathon. Are you kidding me? Like I'll ever live 26 miles from a donut shop. Why else would one run that far?
There's a lady in the audience. I'm not going to point her out. I get out of the car to come in the show here tonight, and she came up to me and she said, had a camera, she said, I'm your biggest fan. She said, I just think you're a great entertainer. I'd love it if I could have a picture with you. Do you mind if my husband takes a picture? And I said, no, I don't mind at all. She said, Harold, hurry, come quick. It's Regis Philbin. I can't tell you how happy I am to be here in New York City because I'm a big sports fan. And New York has the greatest teams, the Jets and the Mets, and you got the Knicks and the Yankees. You know. In fact, last time I was here in town, Dave got me tickets to Yankee Stadium, but they almost had the baseball strike at that time, if you remember, which I've always thought is ridiculous. Can you imagine a strike in baseball? 714 millionaires going out on strike. And some of those millionaires, by the way, are hitting 250. For you folks who do not know what 250 is in baseball, it means you go to bat 4 times, you get 1 hit. Let me give you a better analogy. Say you drive a truck 4 days a week from New Jersey into New York City, and 3 out of 4 days you drive your truck off the George Washington Bridge into the Hudson River. I played football as a boy in the Catholic Youth League. I didn't get in very many games because I was kind of small. You know what I did one time? I had 10 of my buddies come to the game and chant, "We want Dreesen, we want Dreesen." Second quarter, the coach called me over. I said, "Yeah, coach, what do you want me to do?" He said, "I want you going to stands with your friends because they want you more than I do." I went back to my old school the other day, went to a school reunion. By the way, folks, if you haven't been to a school reunion, don't go. Don't go. They got old people there who claim they were your classmates. One of my teachers came up to me. This is the truth. He said, "You don't remember me, but..." I said, "Yes, I do. Your name is Richard Bruno, and you teach algebra." He said, "That's incredible." I said, "Listen to this. X to the 5th power times X to the 5th power is X to the 10th power, because in algebra, you don't multiply exponents, you add them." He said, "That's amazing." I said, "You know what else is amazing? That's the first time I've ever been able to use that since you taught it to me."
I used to have a corporate job, everybody, but I figured, why should I have a job that pays $200 a day when I could be a comic, make that in a week?
I don't do drugs, but if I did, I'd do Prozac, Paxil, and Zoloft all the same time. Just walk around all happy. Hip, hip, hooray! You wouldn't care what people told you. Somebody stole your car. Bye-bye! You're taking a huge pay cut, and I deserve it! Hey! Your girlfriend's dating another guy. Well, he's the man! Let me tell you something. One of these days, I'll end up with $20 million in the bank. I'll just be sitting in my Learjet, my underwear, eating vanilla wafers. I'm already halfway there. I got the underwear and the wafers.
We are gadget crazy. My dishwasher got recalled. Something in the switch was a fire hazard.
A fire, how much do you have to screw up to make a machine that fills with water and then bursts into flame?
Always science things with my dad. Electricity, that was discovered by Benjamin Franklin. He was flying his kite, got caught in those high voltage wires.
I love numbers, and you know, I don't know if this is probably just me, but you know the numbers on the odometer, when they all turn the same, is that a big moment for you? Yes? Yes? Yeah, see, I'll see, 7773. I get all excited. It's coming! Like, I think it's gonna be all sevens. The ashtray's gonna pop out and 1,000,000 quarters are gonna come out of there. I don't know. And I'm driving, driving to a ditch. Cop comes over, can I help you? Yeah, just push me 2/10 more. In this Fleabag hotel, I had the remote control for the TV bolted down to the desk. You ever see that? Let me ask you something. Does that defeat the purpose of a remote? I was in one place in Detroit. They had the remote not bolted down, but they had printed on it, "This will not work on your TV." Like I'm changing channels in Michigan. My wife's in LA. 2, 4, 9, 11. What the hell's going on? The government says they have a satellite 250 miles up that takes such accurate pictures it can identify individual humans on the ground. Do you believe that? I'm skeptical. This is the same government takes my picture from 3 feet away at the motor vehicles. I look like a Klingon every time.
I fell for you like a child. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell in. A couple of nights ago, I checked into a hotel. There was a Bible beside the bed. There's a message inside that said, "If you are an alcoholic or think you have a drinking problem, please call this number." I called it. It was a liquor store.
This little dwarf is in a car accident and he's really steamed because he knows it's not his fault. And he gets out of the car and he slams the door and he walks over to the other driver and he says, "I want you to know that I'm really not happy." And the guy says, "Well then, which one are you?"
Well, since my memory left me, I found a new place to dwell. It's down at
A word of advice. If the room's $29.95, skip the complimentary breakfast.
golf tomorrow. Other guys hit off the tee, you hear things like, "Nice drive, great shot. You got all of that one." When I hit, you hear things like, "That'll work." That won't hurt you. I think it opens up over there.
Bride and groom on their wedding night. She's crawling into bed. He says, "Is this really your first time?" She says, "Why does everyone keep asking me that?"